track, Raymond. They're behind the safety car. We're getting set for race 1.
Thank you, Grant. Great day here at Oran Park. Paul Stokel on pole. Peter Brock alongside. Then it's Nathan Pretty and Stephen Vaughanis. William Pye in there as well. Theo Konduras, one to watch. John Tulin, Kim Burke. Going back through the field, Trevor John, Andrew Luxton is there. John Tryhorn is there. So we have a full field of starters as we prepare for heat number 1.
Well, the safety car just about to pull off to the side of the track. Green flag about to be waved. Look at the Monaro of Peter Brock putting plenty of pressure on Stokel, and they actually touched away and racing.
Paul Stokel off to a brilliant start. I think Brocky lost a gear there. Nathan Pretty up into second place. Let's look at them as they stream down the front straight away here at Oran Park. Bound for the left-hander. Yes, that's the way it's turned out. Brock actually missed a gear, and he's dropped back through the pack.
Stephen Vaughanis has moved his way up into the 3rd spot, relegating Peter Brock back to 4th. You're on board with Theo Konduras. He's battling out trophy class, sitting right up behind the Ferrari of John Tulin.
Well, Peter Brock in the pool right entry as they swing through the right-hander. Needs to get back onto racing speed now because he allowed Nathan Pretty up on the inside, and Pretty is all over Stokel as they come out of here and head up on their first turn to the bridge.
Look at the Ferrari of Tulin dancing all over the circuit. Still cold tyres on these cars. Will take probably about half a lap or so for them to start to come up to temperature. The front-running guys maybe even a bit longer.
Well, the man they'll all have to beat is Paul Stokel, who was absolutely brilliant in Adelaide at the last meeting. And at the moment, he's starting to draw well away from this field as they head through this corner. Now they come up to the flip-flop, to the right, and getting away well and truly from Nathan Pretty and Peter Brock. They're back in 3rd.
Thing that surprised me, Brock straight up the inside, blocks a break too on the entry to the final turn to come onto the start-finish straight, but does pick up 3rd.
Well, Brock goes away, actually, after falling back into the clutches of the Porsche brigade. They managed to straighten themselves out. As they come down the front straight away, the race order is still Stokel, the leader. Pretty in 2nd spot, Brock is 3rd.
Yeah, right behind them, Vaughanis, who's on screen at the moment, as it looks like Brock may have just run a little bit wide. Then William Pye, the first of the Australian Porsche Driver Challenge cars, sitting right up there amongst the trophy class cars. That's a good result for Pye.
Well, Vaughanis has done a pretty fair job at this stage as they work their way into the early laps of this race. There's Brock going through in the pool right entry. Car number 05 still trailing Nathan Pretty, and Pretty at this stage is a long way back behind Paul Stokel. And here's our race leader as he comes down the Clarion entry. The Lambo coming into the left-hander, and he starts to stream away from the opposition.
Great shot looking in the front windscreen of the car. Then you could see Paul Stokel just guiding the car around the corner. There didn't appear to be too much opposite lock going in, so that tells you that the car is well set up. Just a little bit of a power slide down through that final turn, so he's obviously got a car that's very set up very well for this racetrack.
Well, they came through Autotech corner, and as you can see, the gap has opened up to about 5 car lengths over 2nd place Nathan Pretty. It's about a similar gap back to Peter Brock, but it gives you an idea of this marvellous circuit at Oran Park. It has just about everything. It has plenty of tight corners, a little flip-flop, it has bridges, it has just about everything, but it's not what you'd call the widest track in Australia.
Further back in the field, here's a good little dice in the Australian Porsche Drivers Challenge. The David Janee car has just picked up another spot.
That is blinker on there as well, so he moves to the inside, coming down the front straight away. We'll see how these two come into the first corner. They're side by side as they come through here. Nothing to give. He managed to get through there, but leaves the gap open, and back on the inside he comes again.
Yeah, great driving by Janee. Kim Burke just leaving the door a little bit open. This is how it all started on replay. Burke running just a little bit wide through the final turn, and then coming onto the start-finish straight, got a good run down the inside, Mike, and you could see he was always going to take it from there.
Well, I think you have been very luxurious when you said a little wide, but he opened the gap up, and back on the inside he came again. So Janee gets away from him very, very well.
But Janee was smart. He left it out wide, knowing that Burke was going to run wide and do the old proverbial crisscross, and made it pay. Oh, problems from Kevin Wickenden. It looks like he's going down a lap and is starting to struggle out there at the moment as Theo Konduras continues to work on the back of John Tulin. John Tulin not able to pull away.
Well, Konduras has done pretty well so far, trying to bridge that gap. In the meantime, those trying to follow the race leader, Paul Stokel, have found it's almost an impossibility. Stokel is getting away from this field. Nathan Pretty still running in 2nd spot, and Brock is back in 3rd.
This is the dice for trophy class at the moment. John Tulin out in front, had a good run of the Clipsal 500 at round 1 of the championship. A lovely guy who has raced in Nations Cup for quite some time, went away last year, is back in strength in 2004.
He comes through that bottom corner there, and it was absolutely online. Well, we've got problems here.
Yeah, Wickenden, this is the problem we saw down through the bus stop. the back of the car getting very taily, so you had to wonder if there was a bit of oil going under the rear tyres, and it looks like the motor may have expired, and unfortunately he pulls off into pit lane.
I think there's too much oil left on it. He's got traces of smoke coming out the back of the car as he heads into the pits, and that is sadly done for the day. Time to have a look at how they're running on our race score. Stokel is the leader by how far? Nathan Pretty runs in second spot. Peter Brock is the next one, followed then by Bournes. Pye is the next one, followed by Chula, then Conduras, and Stevens is your next. Hope you're enjoying the action here from Sydney's Oran Park Raceway, and we'll be back after the break.
Driving the Ferrari 360 Modena Challenge that's sitting just out in front of Theo Conduras, who closes in right under brakes as they go down through the tight, twisty section of Oran Park.
Well, here's Conduras still trailing Tulin at the moment. Tulin very, very sharp through that corner. Here's our race leader, Paul Stokel. He's so far in front, you can hardly catch sight of him. Taking the left-hander at the end of the straight, and he starts to power away.
Yeah, the Australian Porsche Drivers Challenge car is doing a good job too with these fast Lamborghinis. We see a little bit of a battle going on further back in the field in this class, in actual fact. The 68 car of Kim Burke involved Burke and Stewart, in fact, involved in a battle of their own. The very battle-scarred looking car of Stewart's just making its way past the screen at the moment. Wickenden's car, we saw it come into the pits before the break. Here he is. Let's find out what went wrong.
Oh, I think it's something these 944s hang a little lower than the front cross member, and I think what's happened coming out of Sutton's, it's had a bit of a clip on the ripple strip. They've got sharp edges on them. I heard a bang and then immediately the smoke afterwards, so I'd say that's what's happened, giving the sump a bit of a pull.
There's Trevor John on screen at the moment, involved in a battle of his own from South Australia, the consulting engineer, working pretty hard behind the wheel here this afternoon.
Well, the rest of the field has got well and truly away. We've got some of the really fast cars coming into this bottom corner. Nathan Pretty, you can see there with Peter Brock right behind him. Brock had to take alternative room to the outside as they went across the line.
Yeah, just one more lap to go. Can Peter Brock get round Nathan Pretty? And I suppose, Mike, there's a good little battle between these two. You want to be the first Monaro home, don't you?
Well, it wasn't really close between the two of them in the opening couple of circuits of this race, but at least Brock is now on the pace in 0.5. And he comes up behind Nathan Pretty. A little gap here on the inside. Brock locks one up in the pool right entry as they swing into the right-hander and tries to get Pretty. He won't get him before the bridge as they swing out here. Stokel, in the meantime, is long gone, let me tell you.
The 944 of Trevor John hopping out of the way to let this battle for second go on. Two Monaros rounding up the Porsche. And look at that, Brock's just made a little mistake there. Falls off the tail of Nathan Pretty, but no one is remotely close to this man.
Now he's coming up to the flip-flop now for the final time, comes over here, comes screaming down into the final corner. Beautiful looking car, in top form at Adelaide and in top form here today at Oran Park. Last corner, checkered flag at the ready. And the rocket man, Paul Stokel, getting across the line. He completes it up to a good start today at Oran Park. They don't get any closer than that one, Grant.
No, they don't. Oh, look at this. They do well. The two Monaros, nose to tail. Nathan Pretty just getting home in front of Peter Brock. And there they are, your official results. Paul Stokel with the race win over Nathan Pretty, Peter Brock, Stephen Bournes, William Pye, the first of the Porsche cars home, David Juni in 9th spot, Kim Burke, Trevor John in the mix as well, Paul Stewart, Greg Doll and Martin Bailey from New South Wales in 16.
Yeah, well, the car's going like a rocket at the moment. I mean, we did a lot of work prior to the start of the year, and it's sort of paying off now. The car's, last year we ran every race and we didn't have a reliability issue once, so we've gone sort of one step on again from that, so it improves. You know, and Paul's still on top of the driving, so no, things are going well.
Yeah, I'm not sure what was going on there because we were very close in qualifying, and I noticed Pretty was very quick in practice yesterday, so I expected a big challenge from them. Whether they got a problem, I don't know, but to be honest, I just did what we've been doing all weekend and was waiting for everyone to catch up.
We still have obvious dramas that we've got with the back of the car. It seems to be frying up the tyres pretty quick, so I just had to drive a sort of an easy line, not let PB through, but you know, he caught me pretty quick and stuff, and you know, it was a good bit of dice in there between us and stuff, so we'll just have to try and improve the car overnight.
One of my more interesting starts, look, very simply, missed a gear. Simple as that, just simply missed a gear, and I thought, oh, what am I doing? Time to sort it all out.
I haven't been at this very long, and that was actually my first race win, so I guess we're all smiling.